Hey guys, so yesterday I had my appointment with my PCP, and I think I had mentioned this in one of my previous videos where I had talked about what I wanted to discuss with him. And he basically said, talking about the tremors and everything, he suggested that I talk to my neurologist next week about it because I do have an appointment with my neurologist coming up next week. It is my every 6-month follow up with him. So, I'm going to talk to him about that. The one thing that we did talk about was we did some medication switching. So we talked about my anxiety and how my anxiety has been a little bit worse for me lately. And part of that is because of everything going on with work and trying to figure out where I go with life from here on out. But we increased my anxiety medication by 5 milligrams twice a day. So instead of taking 10 milligrams twice a day, I'm now taking 15 milligrams twice a day. So I need to take that because I haven't taken my morning meds yet. But hopefully that will help a little bit with the anxiety. And I also told him that I haven't really been sleeping the best because I haven't. I don't think I talked about that in a previous video. It's been very difficult for me to fall asleep at night, and I just have a hard time. And he said, not sleeping won't help with my anxiety issues either because it can also ramp up your anxiety if you're not getting enough sleep. And so he prescribed trazodone for me to try taking at nighttime. And it is basically an antidepressant. However, it is used off label for sleeping problems. So that is what I'm using it for. Because I already take an antidepressant. I take Prozac, and like I said, I do have anxiety as well, and so I take Buspirone or Buspar. But that's the one that we increased by 5 milligrams twice a day. So the trazodone helped me fall asleep last night. I'm not sure if the trazodone is the reason why I woke up with basically a migraine this morning, but like here, it is killing me this morning. Still now, it just feels like somebody has my forehead in a vice grip, and it is just, it's not nice. I threw up this morning because of it, and yeah. So there's that. We also talked about trying some new medication for my back. I think I had mentioned before, like way a long time ago, that I take muscle relaxers for my back pain. And I've been having a lot of increased back pain. And my physical therapist had thought that maybe it was because of the way that I have to walk. But my PCP also thought that that might be a little bit of it because I have been having hip pain as well. And he thinks that that's definitely the cause of my hip pain is the way that I've been walking. However, we decided to switch from one muscle relaxer to the other. So um, basically, we're at the same dose, but we're trying a different muscle relaxer to see if it doesn't make me as tired as the other one does. There's obviously still a chance that it could make me tired, like the previous muscle relaxer did. And I have a lot of the previous muscle relaxer, but I have been taking it almost daily. And previous to this, I hadn't been taking it every day. I'd been taking it like every few days or so, but my back pain has really ramped up to the point where it's been an everyday thing, and it's just been really difficult. So we talked about that. We switched that medication, and we stopped the other muscle relaxer that I have a bunch of. And that's basically all of the changes that we made. So I have to go back and see my PCP in a month. I already have that appointment scheduled to basically talk about how these new medications are doing and the new dosages. I had to fill out a PHQ-9 and GAD-7 to talk about my depression and anxiety, and some of my depression ones were a little bit higher than others, but for the most part, my depression has been good. It hasn't really been out of control or, way high, but my anxiety ones were the ones that were towards the higher end. because, like I said, I've really been struggling with my anxiety lately. And so yesterday, after my appointment, we went to Walmart and picked up my new prescriptions. And I did the first dose of the upped Buspar yesterday. And then I took the Trazodone before bed, and it did help me fall asleep for sure. And like I said, I woke up this morning with an awful migraine that ended up making me throw up. So I'm hoping that that's not the case with the Trazodone. I want to kind of research and see if other people have had a similar issue with the Trazodone, like causing headaches and stuff. But I'm hoping that's not the case because it really did help me fall asleep. So, anyways, that's basically all of the updates that I have from my appointment with my PCP yesterday. I'm very thankful that I have him as my PCP because he is definitely very helpful and he listens and he is always willing to try different things to try to get to something that works for me. And I know that I used to work with him, but I just think that it's perfect when you find a primary care provider who is willing to go to bat for you and advocate for you and, you know, make sure that you have exactly everything that you need. So, anyways, with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys got some good information out of this one, anyways. But yeah, that's all I have. If you guys have any topics you would like to hear me talk about on my channel in the future, let me know. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys in tomorrow's video.